focus is education. I set up the OTUMFUO Education Fund to generate resources to provide opportunities for quality primary school, primary, secondary, tertiary, and vocational education, not only in my domain, but Ghana generally. To date, over 600,000 people, students, at various levels of education have benefited from the fund. Additionally, I set up a Teachers Award scheme to encourage teachers in rural communities and motivate them to focus on teaching our wards well. Health, water, and sanitation. I later set up the Sewampim AIDS Foundation for children under the leadership of my spouse, Lady Julie OSEI TUTU, to help children who have become victims of the HIV/AIDS pandemic. These two bodies have now been merged under the umbrella of OTUMFUO OSEI TUTU Charity Foundation. The Charity Foundation is actively involved in the provision of social amenities in the priority areas of health, water, and sanitation. Later, I also secured a World Bank grant for a pilot project entitled Promoting Partnerships with Traditional Authorities Project, which was a pilot project to ascertain whether traditional leaders were up to the task of contributing significantly to socio-economic development of their communities. The project was implemented by the Asandimai Council and focused on 4 main areas, namely education, primary school level, health, preventive health care, cultural heritage preservation, and capacity building. Under the project, new school buildings, including teachers' quarters, were put up with facilities for potable water and electricity. One of the core strategies accounting for Ghana's success also lies in building effective partnerships at the national and local levels to address crisis. Hence, the importance of Sustainable Development Goal 17. Ghana's National Peace Council, which is an independent statutory body for peace, seeks to prevent and respond to conflicts and build sustainable peace in the country. Throughout multiple election cycles, the National Peace Council, acting in concert with the regional peace councils, has facilitated political dialogue before, during, after elections to ensure peaceful voting process and to diffuse political tensions. They have also been particularly instrumental in the peaceful resolution of some of the country's conflict hotspots. In all these initiatives and peace-building mechanisms, there has been strong collaboration between traditional leaders and state institutions in advancing understanding, tolerance, and solidarity. Ghana's traditional and religious institutions, also represented on the National Peace Council, have served as agents for justice, sustaining peace, and building inclusive communities. Indeed, in 2012, I got all the political parties to sign a declaration in Kumasi to respect and abide by the outcome of the elections. Ghana's peace-building infrastructure has proven successful, not only in dealing with protracted conflicts, but also in addressing difficult challenges preemptively, foster political inclusion, and avoid social tensions and conflict. During the past 2 decades of my reign, I have used my good offices by quietly but actively engaging the major political leaders to ensure a seamless and peaceful transition from one political regime to another based on the outcome of our national elections. This has invariably entailed holding tripartite meetings with the outgoing and incoming presidents of Ghana. This is very important because as part of the growing democratic dispensation in Africa, elections have now been accepted as the only legitimate means of changing governments. Madam President, as traditional rulers, we have been consistently engaged in conflict prevention, management, and resolution all the time. Peace has always been a core value in African traditional societies. At the instance of the President of the Republic in 2002, I was tasked together with 2 eminent chiefs to lead peace talks in search for a peaceful solution to a complicated communal conflict in Dabon in the northern part of Ghana, which was posing a serious threat to peace and security in the area. Peace has been restored in the area, and a new Yana, the Dabon overlord, has been ensconced after 17 years of protracted conflict. This was a crisis with all the potential to escalate and spin out of control. It was every inch as complex as any of the issues that have given Africa such a bad name. Traditional leaders, applying time-honored traditional processes, demonstrated their capacity to win the peace. The resolution of the Gabon crisis through alternative dispute resolution has reinforced my belief in our old-fashioned and time-tested way of resolving disputes through dialogue. It has always been a core belief in African culture that parties to a conflict need to be reconciled in order to build and maintain social trust and social cohesion, and thereby avoid a vendetta or retribution from developing and escalating between individuals or families or in a society as a whole. In conclusion, I wish to remind us all that sustaining the culture of peace requires, among others, non-violence and respect for human rights, respect and solidarity among all peoples and dialogue between cultures, the linkage of peace to democratic participation and sustainable human development, the free flow and sharing of information and knowledge, contribution to conflict prevention and post-conflict peace building, and equality between women and men, all best supported through projects in which people take an active role in transforming their values, attitudes, and behaviors. We have survived 2 global wars as well as the Cold War, but we are nowhere near achieving success in the most important contemporary war, the war for sustainable development. No nation can afford to live in isolation. No nation, however powerful, can survive on its own in this globalized world. God, in his infinite wisdom, wants us and has indeed compelled us to live together on this planet called Earth and be each other's keeper. Without multilateral cooperation of the type represented and espoused by the UN, we cannot overcome the multifaceted monumental challenges confronting us in our ambitions and arduous task of achieving the transformative 2030 agenda. We cannot afford to continue to work in silos. We need to work in partnership and in tandem with each other to be successful. We have the means, the technology, the knowledge, and the resources to deal with current and emerging challenges. Let us use the occasion of this anniversary to rekindle the fire in our belly, re-energize ourselves, and renew our collective commitment to make the world a better place for all. History will never forgive nor absolve us if we fail to stand by the courage of our convictions and live up to our responsibilities by promoting the culture of peace as a sustainable basis, and thereby ensure accelerated implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. I urge all member states to pursue partnerships at the national level and seek appropriate pathways in promoting and sustaining global culture of peace. I am sure you are aware of the wealth of knowledge and expertise among traditional rulers in Africa. It is unpardonable that such resources be wasted because we cannot evolve how to get the best out of our birthright. I thank you for your attention and I wish you successful deliberations.
Saji fogu nyagwasio krasa tinedwe kasangen.
Saji fogu nyagwasio krasa tinedwe kasangen.
Kotoko ini kase krobia ine kasangen.